So till now, the story the Russian peasant Denis Grigorevich, he is brought before the magistrate Kanana by Ivan Akinov because he was found. Kanana Ivan Akinov, he found Denis unscrewing nuts from the railway tie. Have this track to railway track tagi and nut to unscrew to what hang about the gi. He was brought before the magistrate. Then, Huziki Equigi Sinzinakai Tare Huziki, Wari Horokasida. Asagi magistrate Kimamanda Larakanda, the conversation start of Grequa, conversation between the magistrate and the Denis start Hujitogre, Mamai Marianare. Why did you have unscrewed the nut and the nut is here? Do you agree with what the watchman has said? Kind of high mana. Yes, I have done it in a high ekomana. Why did you unscrew the nut? Kind of magistrate, no Muhangapodo, at the Manakai Kumakra. I wanted to do it, that's why I did it. The kind of man came later with the cock and toss had to be the man, Palau Contoria. At the Nanga serious of a crime, Kaidobogin and Nanga not to unscrew Risiboka have a kind of because we use them as sinker. Kanana Kumea, Dennis just replied, very likely that he used the nuts for making sinkers that is used in a fishing line. Season up though. The man is the high age. Came the Mangwanda. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what he had done. If we unscrew the nut in the railway track, the train might cause might meet an accident. Accident track to the train will go in a different direction. In the wrong direction, it may cause accident. Without knowing that, he just unscrewed nuts from the railway track. The magistrate, when asked by the magistrate, Dennis just very lightly replied that he wanted to unscrew the nut, so that's why he just unscrewed it. Lightly stop talking about the sinkers. Don't tell lies any about sinkers and start giving the reason why you have unscrewed the nuts and hang. Those people who catch fish without using the sinkers might be a very foolish one. Kind of a high resolution you do mana. Yampangi moido kaido huziki sinkers yaw targeting ngaze hena pai kangineba. Aduna sinkers yaw kalo seasoning after do any kaido bugi tokshinagado. I have never tell lies in my life. Kind of a mana saurok potokwa. Adumaito don huzi conversation check kadaya or sum lakpana mana kay hare. I Sanagadi but not to Sanabadnate that I fishing net season of the high city, sum laequa, Aduma Tango Yagoja, Aduga next Makata Tasico. Magistrate Snakai Haria. The witness is determined to convince us he is out of his wits, pretends he was born yesterday or fell out of the sky in a very sarcastic way. Magistrate is how we able to really, you miserable blockhead, don't you understand what happens when you unscrew these nuts? If the linesman had not seen you at work, the train could have gone off the rails. People could have been killed, and the responsibility for killing them would have been yours. Magistrate na kay hara. Adu yana pangi du kari gino masigi mizya. Kanano Denis Grigorevich ko. This man is determined. Means he has come with a full plan that he is going to fool us. Mana ko apang siga daure. Masig ngarang da pokpra. He must have been born only yesterday, or he just fell out of the sky, because he doesn't know that if we unscrew a nut, the train might go off the rail and cause and meet an accident. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that, so he is a very foolish person, or he must have been born only yesterday. That's why he doesn't know anything. My high river magistrate. Don't you understand that what would happen if you unscrew the nut? Train do magi rail it might meet an accident and cause the death of many people, and the responsibility will be yours. Conversation. Dennis oh, God forbid, Your Honor. No, why should I kill anybody? Do you think we are criminals or hidden? Good gentlemen, we thank God we have lived our lives without ever letting such an idea as killing people entered our heads. Save us and have mercy on us, Queen of Heaven. What were you saying, sir? Situation kayam lurage kayam serious of a situation na habasa massage hoji ko gyan ta jadriba Dennis Gregory se ken tabra aduna mana kai hare oh God forbid your honor kaina ga hire ko why should I kill anybody magistrate sin high is kai no je sung lotion da why should I kill anybody kaina ga hire ko the magistrate is just trying to say that if you unscrew a nut from the railway track the train might go off the rails and cause the death of many people have never rail track to dubu bind to join to riba track nut to nang na screw do lauthok ki tar de ke dorania khaidor oida rail is my track to sumaina napsalaga samnabdo screw do sumaina napsanaraga lebdo screw do sinan thok taraga di leng oida leng ju leng ani happy khaisu khaidu ka dentra horaga leiduni ba sumaina aduna mana kai adumai adu tawni haibani hairako dudana Dennis na mo masaja kari no si gyan ta jada bi dane mana haya ai ke do mi halu doino kaina sala haire ba ko and we the people of kana nga sagi magi village maming do Kimovo ko we the people of Kimovo have never had that thought in our mind ko adu sunga lakte na never come across a mind ka haji neba thank God we are not that a very bad person kaina masam tong khanjaba do mai khale ba ishwar jaga mana ngang ko maina pray tawraga ngang ga leire adu ma matom dong kai hare thank God we are not that kind of person kaina haire ba ade manam kai judge mujiki magistrate to answer what were you saying sir kaina hangjale ba man sauninga moi do magistrate to ko ade magistrate na kai hare how do you suppose train wrecks happen? Doesn't it occur to you that if a few nuts are unscrewed, you can have a train wreck? The situation. Magistrate was angry and he was trying to make understand Dennis that if you unscrew a nut, the train might go off rail, then meet an accident and cause the death of many people. But instead of trying to understand what the magistrate is saying, Dennis just said, why would I kill people? Reason to sungang khang dabi dane smai nut to unscrew to tari mi sine sungang khang dabi why would I kill people? I'm not that kind of person and the people living in my village Kimovo kaidawe we are not that kind of person we are a very good person hiding but adu sum high lady adu the magistrate say now he's angry that he doesn't understand his own situation he doesn't understand the seriousness of the action he had done kai action no unscrewing the nut. So the magistrate is very angry and is frustrated because how is come I understand to honda no sibo na ko ada mana kai hare adu din ang hayo ne the magistrate na hare how do you suppose train wrecks happen ko how do you suppose train wrecks happen don't you know that if you unscrew a nut from the railway track it may cause accident don't you know that kind of hangi eba magistrate sa hauraga Dennis tong kai khume Dennis smirked and screwed up his eyes incredulously at the magistrate have masai hidden hai hodre ko seeing this mamangda do you think we are criminals or hidden ka hai was hidden have the believer in a religion other than the chief world religions have the Christianity uncivilized of man haning is akoi jibo uncivilized of mi malu ra ba kana ka tawra ko akoi kenta hauna lon cha khang da malu ra bra ne nang na akoi daga adu hai du bo mi bu hat lo hai jibo kana ka mi hat pangam bagi nang mi halage khalira kana ka hanga idu bo do you think we are very uncivilized person people kana mana on khalas haujulak pine ba khanga magistrate sida aduga mana kai hai is Dennis smirked and screwed up his eyes incredulously at the magistrate kai hai rubada magistrate don't you know how this train wreck happened kana ka sauraga hangakpoda ada mana kai hare Dennis ne incredulously had unbelievingly ko my smirk toraga hape machima ka kitang paikhatlaga nu oga kitang paikhatlaga nu oga mana na khuyeng ka do thajada mo yam in a very disbelieving manner he stared at the magistrate Dennis na ko adu kai hare Dennis na why your honor we peasants have been unscrewing nuts for a good many years now and the good Lord has protected us and as for a train wreck and killing people why nothing at all now if I look up a whole rail or put a big bulk of timber across the track maybe I could smash up a train but just an ordinary nut kai haiga topo doka ma hainingi je kaino magistrate na kanara Dennis da hangeba train don't you know how this train accident or train wreck happens khangdabra nat to nang lothu ta di sok ta ba natra kaina ga ma se saura bani ko ji ko magistrate ji he is angry now aduna mana kai hare nang khangdabra train se ka main accident thoke ko ke se khangdabra nang na du main tawi du bon hai ba kan se mana kai khume akhoi di habet usitabe mong da spark toraga ko in a very sarcastic manner man ang kai hare Your Honor, we peasants have been unscrewing nuts for many years, for many good years. Adudi mas jahi yam sang nang mamangda ko yam sang ni mamangda nut dum unscrew tawra la aisiniba. No one has ever caught them, so nobody knows that they were unscrewing nuts. Kyan tabra. Aduna kanamta phabidrabanina, they were not caught, so people were unaware of the people going around there to unscrew the nut. Aduna kaimta khalam deva khangaba. Accident thok targas, oh, there must be some technical problem, or there must be problem with the train or the railway track. But unscrew tawre nut se unscrew tawre habadinya. Moje sukan khalu deva mi mayam sina ko. Adagi mo makha kai hare mana. Akoina unscrew tawre isidi. We have been doing this for many years and nothing happened, and good Lord has protected us. And as for the train wreck and killing people, nothing at all. We have been unscrewing the nuts for many years, and the Lord has protected us. Ishona khoi jeng pidi mana kadai degi train do migi train rail track to degi nato sum lok thoga ishona kadai ngak pi ke doino. No, God will protect us. Natra. Adubu kai daure. Mas God has always been protecting us, and we have been unscrewing the nuts. And for the train wreck ki matang de manong kai harea. If I go and just put a timber my wood to timber ki wood to ina thamjalu targadi, it might smash the train kinda. But just a nut, what will it cause? What will it affect? How would it affect? Just the nut machang khakni. How would it affect the train? He doesn't know the gravity of the situation. Dennis doesn't know the gravity of the situation. That's why he is talking in that manner. If I go and put a bulk of timber or a wood of timber in front of the train, yes, it might cause an accident. But we are now talking about a nut, just a small nut. How would it cause the lack of just a small nut? How would it cause the accident or the train wreck? Situation Dennis doesn't understand that by unscrewing the nut, by taking out the nut from the railway track, the track will not be in that usual position. Then it might cause the train wreck. But the magistrate is trying again and again to make Dennis himself understand that he had committed a crime. You should know, Dennis, magistrate, you should know that you have committed a sin. You had committed a crime. And you should know the gravity that it is a serious crime which may cause a death of many people, which may cause the death of many people. You should know this. With giving examples, with giving possible situations. My arm story is Dennis, no, I have done nothing. It's just a screw. It's just a nut and understand? Nut amani kadogode ka haraga tokthokpodo adumai to legre yongko situation je asumna kandadi kaidore the magistrate mat saure can you get it into your head that the nut holds the rail to the tie nasana khangdabra ngasai nut sinane si rail si leire hi leidoni sigi mathang samnarakpodo kaidogani si mathang na samna nut na phari natra it's tie don't you know that the nut holds the rail to the tie tie masagi makhada thajaraga leibado adu the mathak nagi rail lakadobudo train na chenpham lakadoribado train chatnaba sumai si thamdra magi wheel duna chatnaba si thambado se tie duga sigi si tie siga masagi rail track to samla halise nut na phajali ni nang khangdabro na hairiba mana don't you know that it is the nut that holds kana together the tie and the rail together never. Don't you know that? Nan hairiba komana. Dennis dam kai khandara. Of course, Your Honor. Yung command to ija. Khangi kai no dudi kai na hairagam khumtore. Mai ji pangira singira mathongom khangdreba. Ka pangchenarira if he is foolish or if he is really foolish or acting mas acting tawira like a fool adu tawira je ma je magistrate na se khangjalak kari mai na ngangna doino. How should I explain to him, or how should I make him realize that he has committed a crime? The magistrate mauji ngaure haibam khangdreba mazu denisina khangmalak sida aduna of course, Your Honor, kai khumtore we understand that. That's why we don't unscrew all of them. Mana kai haira aduna we know that's why we know that the nut holds the rail to the tie. We know that the nutsina holds the rail to the tie. That's why we don't unscrew all the nuts. Station nuts se ama ani ahum mari manga ko 5 of the nuts yauri khala je ba for example just let us just take this part moi Dennis when it is kaina one side ma lokthokpa side ma unscrew tawba smai tawgadai ba adamana don't you know that it holds the rail with the tie why did you unscrew it kaina ga tawra ko it might cause accident kan chairak pa sum chaire imata dana Dennis am ga hakari yes of course we know that the nut holds the rail and the tie that's why we don't unscrew all of them kan yamna lightly oina khumtori ba ko pangi ra singi ra mathong monom khangtre aduna bune akhoi si samna halaga lai je akhoi khange aduna screw do loimak lokthok tribani khara khatang lokthok ini ye khara khatang lokthok taraga su koma adi train to accident thok toi natra adu masana khangjade ba khangaba ada khum to rei ba mong je mingon de hena khoidok sogol haning bado ko we leave some of them we have got hats on our shoulders we know what's what te manam kai haire mana sei je haire ise haidi akoi ju kok pali kai no kain haibe mong do ko we also have heads on our shoulder ko akoi kok pali we have our head we think we are brain we have brain and we think that's why we don't unscrew all of them ka haire ine ba mana akoi ju khangi that the nut holds the rail to the tie aduna we don't unscrew all of them we are also people we can think about that we have brain ka haga ma saugalapai mong ne ba we know what's what kaina ka tawra ko akoi ju khangi kaino dubokti kaina ga sauning ngai ne ba mu khanga ba nang khang dabra ne chis na china phazala thame je khang dabra ne na magistrate na harak podo da mu hujiki kaino sina Dennis na mu sauning ga akoi ju mi ni kaino adubokti khangi akoi ju adubaki kok pali even though I'm a peasant ko I have at least that much of knowledge kaina ga haiba do haining ngai ne ba and they had a mana. Dennis yawned and made the sign of the cross over his mouth. To yamna noi to ju kai no ge have mo do he's very lenient ko ma kai do no khang da mana hakang ga chan ga tor hakang ga chan hang ga tor ga to bu do haidi noi to je am yang ning dre haidi am wasal noi gi se kai na haibe mo ngong da ne ba ko interest to laitre adudi sigi yawning to busna mu kai haria yawning to busna amu kai harake ha kan ma je he is not aware he's still not aware ko even after giving examples and even after telling him the situations and all by the magistrate he is still unaware of the crime the serious act that he had done ma je kai do gi ha je ma samak se huji phoba kai da wi lokshan bangam driba not to look so what have a moment I have unscrewed the nut so what I have not unscrewed whole of the nut but only some few of them so what is there to worry about that na mai hairaga khallaga lai thokibu dune ba mana huji tawrise ko degi mana kai hare next saure ko magistrate si saure bani kamai haidune no khangak trabane ba then last year, magistrate in Hareko, last year a train went off the rails here, the magistrate said. Now we know how it happened. Last year there was a train wreck, and now, situations, now we know how it happened. Oh, the people of Kimovo were unscrewing the nut for making sinkers high kwa adumaina hairakpanina hujiki conclusion la ise conclude or ise mana kamaina la e masagi magistrate na haise now we know how magistrate na haise now we know how did train wreck happen haba magistrate na haire ba ko oh noina sum nat to sum lai thorak pa duna train dugi magi rail track dugi noina nat to sum lai thoga lai rabanina kaidawra hujik magi train wreck thoki ba do maram do kayo rame this must be the reason cinema man haise ko the unscrewing to was unscrewing the nut ni dana adu this must be the reason of that train wreck last year tawgibado adu simak soidana maki orangani this must be the reason hairaga man haire ba hoji sum pusalako gen tabra conclusion lakodo beg pardon haire ba man Dennis no kai beg pardon kaino haidu kayaba kaina haibe mongdo ko kayaba kaina mai haira I said now we know why the train went off the rails here the magistrate said now we know how it happened beg pardon amuka zum haire ba man aina haidine haire magistration ko aina haidine mamang chahi da thokiba last year there was a train wreck in last year and now we know how it happened haire ba indicator is kadai do not the magistrate is indicating that the unscrewing of the nut by the Kimovo people by the people of Ziki Dennis ki people sing do my village ki people sing do na unscrewing to buduna train wreck to thokpani ji haining ne ba ko he wants to come to the conclusion that the unscrewing of the nut by the people of Kimovo by the people of the village had caused, must be the reason of the train wreck last year. Sigi conclusion se mana pusana ni ngai ne ba adubu Dennis ne ke pardon beg pardon ko I sum high le ba ma kai ba kaina ko saugale I said amu haya ko magistrate na now we know why the train went off the rails last year. It's all clear now. The magistrate is trying to say that it is clear that how we were not able to come to a conclusion how the train wreck happened last year, but now it all makes sense. It all makes sense after seeing you or after having caught you unscrewing the nuts. Now we know how that the train wreck happened. I did not to yaudra accident to keep the adunu oida manisia. Conclusion lakpa ngame reason se maram do adu oidam gani have se lakpa ngame sineba kanana haiba magistrate sina aduga Dennis suna kana kayeba adum hang leida khang beg pardon what are you saying hai adum taw leiba do ko Dennis na mu kai hare good kind gentlemen, God gave us understanding and he gives it to whom he pleases. You know about things, how it happened, what happened and all. But the linesman, he was a peasant too, not a man with an education. He took me by the collar and carted me off. A peasant has the brand of peasant, that's what they say. And write down too, Your Honor, that he hit me twice, once in the jaw and once in the chest. Complaining to the magistrate. Good kind gentlemen, oh, you know that how this train wreck happened. Very good. You are very educated. You have this brand, this high level of thinking that now you understand how that train wreck happened. It's very good for you. The magistrate is trying to bring the situation, connect the situation of unscrewing the nut and the cause of train wreck thoibado. Adugi course pusalak na batawbaneba. But Dennis said, oh, very good. You know that. Oh, it's very good that you have come to know of the reason behind the train wreck. And hire God gave you understanding. God gave you understanding. God always do that to whom He pleases. But the linesman, adugu peasants ya. Kanano peasant hai senga sagi Ivan Akinov to watchman oy gibaduni ko. Ivan Akinov, he is also a peasant. He is also a peasant and he hit me twice. Well, he is not an educated person. He doesn't know how the train wreck happened. He just caught me by the collar and he hit me twice, once in the jaw and once in the chest. Just like a child, this Dennis Grigoriev was complaining to the magistrate that Ivan Akinov is also a peasant. Is also a peasant and he is not that much educated person. A peasant is a peasant and a peasant has got the mind and knowledge of the peasant only. Kind of man hiding level do status to. Adu no status adu bo ni mase peasant ni adu kay dora. Mamang na ingon kutum thilabani ka haineba. He punched me, he beat me up kan haineba ko. He punched me twice ka hai mas hauraga complaint tawjari ne ba Canada. Dennis was complaining to the magistrate that the watchman ko ngasai Ivan Akinov has punched him. Once in the jaw and once in the chest. Thilaini na mana caught by his collar tawraga ko. Complaint tawre mana kay haya duga. Magistrate na listened. When they searched your place, they found another nut. Now, where and when was that one unscrewed? Haya mana. Magistrate yung serious talaga case se makha chathare ko. Continuing the case trial se makha chathare mana kay haya. Listen here. When they search, thadu amani ko mase pharabani police chala kanda mayum do search tawreba. When they were searching your house, they found one more nut. Now tell me when and where did you unscrew it? Which part of the railway track did you unscrew the nut? Na hide eba mana. Yung ko man hide. Dennis amu kay kumakeng siba. Karay de ilaw tho ino kumo ka habi sen. Dennis kay hide. You mean the one they found under the little red chest ka hide. Oh, na hide little red chest ki makhada leba duro ka na ga dumay na kumtori eba ko. Magistrate, I don't know anything about where it was. I only know they found it. When did you unscrew that one? Magistrate, I don't know where was the nut found, but I only know that they found a nut. Nut amu phange habase ai khange kadai degi phangakpano adudi ai khangdre adubu nang husi engonda khumu hai se you need to answer me that where did you Where and when did you unscrew that nut? Kadai which part of the railway track oi tari moi chatlaga yengu yadra kwa yengchalu yare train rek chu tho aroi kemta tawraroi dana aduna man haise hairo kadai degi no nang nut chu lokthoi je haiba kanana khangu de natra they have been unscrewing the nut for many years kwa aduna from which part from where habado they don't remember yai kwa I didn't unscrew it. Kanana had Dennis. I do unscrew to Bonatena. It was given to me by Igansha, the son of one-eyed Simeon. I am talking about the one under the chest, the one they found in the yard on the sledge. That one was unscrewed by Mitrofen and me. Matang haider e mana. Yongwa. Nat thambam zibo the mana kangem. Oh, masagi red chest makadale beduno. Oh, kanana pidea. Igansha haisina pide. Igan Kha have Igan Kha is in a Pirakane Hareba. Kanano, son of one-eyed Simeon. Jigimachano Pada the Pirakane, the one found in the Kadaida under the red chest. Under the red chest, Igan Khana Pirakwa. At the Gemukai Hara. The one under near the sledge Haragua, on the yard, in the yard, on the sledge, Mataka sledge Habadi. Sledge akoina chingna thongna bato sledge ma thata lei badudi kana no Mitrofen amasung aigana unscrew torokoni it was unscrewed by Mitrofen and me hane ba mana ko adai sim kai hairania which Mitrofen haiba karma Mitrofen no haiba ko adagi mu denisam kai khumani Mitrofen Petrov do you mean to say you have never heard of him kai mana magistration question tok chale don't you know who this Mitrofen is kind Mitrofen is and Hangjale command. Nang Kang the Brane, kind of young power cineman, Hines popular or Nang magistrate Nakamana Kangamdrino Sinebaqua. The Manaka, he is the one who makes nets in our village and sells them to the gentry. He needs a lot of nuts. Every net, I reckon, must have about 10 nuts. Adu my net cam season, nuts cam season money. The Manaka had Mitrofen have a my full name na kaino Mitrofen Petrov ko sigin pass don't you know who is this Mitrofen kaina gamana Dennis questioned the magistrate ko he is the one who makes net and sells them Canada to the gentry ko to the gentry yon janga doine ba mana and who is this gentry people of high official position society amada social status se khara wangna leiba kangbu se moising sida amuk khoimo hujiki Mitrofen sina nature haraga yonjanga doine ba paisa tali ni ko aduna man haise Mitrofen ga aigana unscrew tawbududi sledge mathakta le hobani sigi akhoigi son of one eye Simeon gi machanu pana pirakpaduna red chest makhada phangbadu aduna mai machanu pana pirakpani aduga sledge mathakta le hobududi Mitrofen ga aigana unscrew tawbudune kaina ga tumain haidore ebakwa adagi makha kai hare next mana mukai hare listened according to magistrate Aniko according to article 1081 of the penal code every willful act leading to the damage of a railroad and calculated to jeopardize the passage of train shall if the perpetrator knows the act will cause an accident knows you understand and for that matter you couldn't help knowing the consequences of unscrewing the nut such a man is liable to exile with hard labor manis de kai hare according to article manji court ki matung the law ki matung ina ni ko mana huje hare ja karamba article no according to article 1081 of the penal code kind of magistration ngang ba hore ini ko nang dandi phangba yara bani ne kaina ga hara ko do sigi matung ina dandi phangane sineba rules iraga laikhrabani according to the article 1081 of the penal code if anyone is found offending the Karina, or causing any damage to the public property or any property or which might cause death or taragadi tandi phangbayai sinim adu karam kanda if he knows that his action would cause danger to people sineba damage of the railroad and calculated to jeopardize habadi put in danger mase awa phamda tahanba adagi danger da mase kai gumba tahan taragadi adu so karam kanda with the perpetrator knows the act haba perpetrator haba perpetrator have the one who commits a crime the person who is committing or who is doing the action if he knows that his action will cause danger or will put the people in danger then he is likely to be punished by the law. Karamba law no according to Article 1081 gi matung inna, if the perpetrator knows that his action would cause danger to the people, ko gyan tabra admai adu oitaragadi the law will punish the person sineba mana haise. No matter and for that matter, you couldn't help knowing the consequences of the unscrewing the nut. Such a man is liable to exile. Exile thagi bayai madudo sigi mafam segi ma tamthoki bayai kaiguma masana tawjariba pot to lale se khang taragadi khang na ko aina to ise lale soire, this might put people in danger. Khang na mana thabak sum tok thabo taragadi ma se punishment phangane sine basida haire ise. Dennis na kai khumya, oh well, you know best. We ignorant people, we don't know anything. Oh bhare oh chumi it must be true that people if the person knows that his doings might cause danger or might cause accident or put the people in danger ko adu matung bok tamase thabak se dum tok tharga lei boy tari ma se dandi phangba yai ha ba se nang hai do ma magistrate hai ni ko it is good for you that you know and you are an educated person though, so the article you have mentioned and what this article is trying to say is about must be true kind of man hide Dennis hide oh na hide chumamni kind of magistrate is trying to say that Dennis you might get the punishment hiding in adu Dennis di kai oh nang na hide chumam gani it must be true that the article 1081 gives permission or of the penal code says that if any person is found doing action which might put people into danger will get punishment will get can be exiled from the mafam huski place adu hai bok man oh chumamgani you are an educated person so what you are saying must be true hai sini manas da hai je masa je ma masa mak ta hai ni ha sa denis se sungkang khangjatre ba ko magistrate ne kai haria you do know nang khangi hai suna kanda denis we are very ignorant people ko we don't know anything kind of smajum high le the magistrate ne kai haria you do know sineba nang khangi bani sineba man hai je you are lying and shaming ignorance you are lying you are telling lies and shaming means pretending to be so you are just pretending to be ignorant and you are lying to me that you don't know what would happen if you unscrew the nut you are just telling lies after lies ko mana dum oidaba se ngangi bani you know the consequences but you are denying it and man haire ba ko adamu Dennis na kai khumya why should I lie ko there's nothing to lie kana ga haire mana ask in the village if you don't believe me only the big fish can be caught without a sinker that's true there's no fish worse than a dudgeon and even he won't bite without a sinker haire ba ko mana I'm not telling you any lie ko you can ask anyone in the village that if we don't use sinker mana sai sinker du dum chat lai re ba ko na to man sinker one season hai dana aduna you can ask anyone in the village that if we don't use the sinker it's very hard for us to catch fish ko and sometimes we don't even catch a single fish in the high but so akoina sinker se season nari ni sine ba man hai ninga ise ya bra aduna village kana ameta da hang so sinker season da di kana nga pha ya ro dai no kaina ga hairak pai mawong ne ba you will be talking about snapper next the magistrate smile the magistrate na makha taro continue next you will be talking about the snappers right kaina ga hangjal le ba man magistrate is sounding ai ne ba ko asa ge hari myam to amu hanjale man hai oh nang mathang da snapper hai to hairo kaina ga tor ka ko hai Dennis sam kai hai I told you we don't have snappers in our part of the country now if we cast our lines on the surface without a sinker with a butterfly for bait we might maybe catch a mullet but it don't happen often haire maman kai haira it's very true that we use sinker ko for fishing line gi namakta ikoina sinker season je kai gi no to catch fish de ya bra aduna surface ta tauraga leitana ba so that the bait of the fishing line go to the bottom bok ta chatla kanda nga do phana ba nga achow ba phana ba khoina sinker season ne chumme ko ai kasu oidaba ngangoi aduga hoi chume nang ai snappers ki maram da ngang kan haido I will talk about snappers but here in this part of our country ko akoina lai riba jaga sidi we don't have snappers ko which eat the bait on the surface lai ba adu chaba ngam snapper du lai tabani na khoi snapper du bok ta phaba ngam de sine ba it's very hard to catch fish ne ba mana hai ise ko